All right, so I like to run this hypothetical scenario usually in class, and we do it on the board together, but since that's not a possibility, I'm going to do it here using Microsoft Excel for you guys. So the scenario that I like to give is I say patient 0, who is a zombie, has escaped. Luckily, patient 0 is not ravenous. He will only consume and convert one person each day. So for those of you unfamiliar, if you're bitten by a zombie, you then turn into a zombie. Okay, that's the scenario we're working with here. And he's going to keep going at that rate, and then all the other zombies are going to do the same thing as patient 0. Okay. Now we're going to just assume in this hypothetical scenario, because first of all, zombies aren't real, okay? Second of all, this is my class, so I get to do what I want. We're going to say that there is no way of eliminating these zombies, so we're going to assume that there's no double tap or anything like that that's going to allow us to kind of get the zombie population back under control, okay? So that means that I want to find out how long until the different populations that I've listed below would be all wiped out and turned into zombies. Okay, so we'll assume that the zombie population obviously starts happening in our school, and we'll assume that we're in school for the purposes of this demonstration. Otherwise, it doesn't work very well if we're all just sitting at home. Okay, so you'll notice I've started off my chart number of days. This is the first day when patient 0 has escaped from the lab. Okay, so on day 0, there's just patient 0, so there's just that one zombie. Okay, so after one day, okay, he goes and he bites one other person, and when he bites that one other person, now there's him and that one new zombie that he's created. Okay, on day 2, there's those two zombies, right? Patient 0 and then his new buddy friend. They each are going to bite one person each, and so now the number of zombies will double, and now we have 4 zombies. Okay, on the third day, all 4 of those zombies now need to go eat somebody, so they're going to bite someone each, and now there's the 4 plus the 4 new ones, so again it doubles to 8. So you can see my pattern is, as I go down every day, my number of zombies is doubling. And look at this, Microsoft Excel is so smart, it knows that that's what I wanted to do. So 6 days, now there's 64 zombies. So before I go on too much further, I want you to just pause the video. I want you to take some guesses, think how long it's going to take until all of the following populations are wiped out. How many days do you think it would take for all those populations to become zombies? Okay, so just pause the video, think about it for a second. All right, so let's keep doubling. Our list keeps going down, so 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. Okay, so after 10 days, there's 1,024 zombies. CMAC would be gone. So we weren't all gone. On the 9th day, probably the staff were still fine. It was the students who were all gone, because you guys are, you wouldn't make it. The staff would be fine. Maybe not some of our LA teachers. But anyway, as we keep going down the list, so now day 10, 1,024. So at that point, the population of our school has been wiped out. All the hungry zombies now need to leave and go out into the city, and now we're looking for people within Calgary. So we'll keep going down, see how many days it takes until we get Calgary. Let's see, we're at 18 days, 262,000, 19, 520, 20 days, that's 1,048,000, so we're not there yet. But on day 21, 2 million zombies. So at this point now, the zombies have run out of fresh humans in Calgary, and so now they need to spread out, presumably through the rest of Alberta. So most of them are probably going to travel north to Edmonton. That's probably the best choice, although they're Oilers fans, so it won't be as good. So we'll keep going down now. So we're at 4,194,000. So it was only 2 more days, right? So on the 21st, we had Calgary, right? I guess I'll highlight the important days. On the 21st, all of Calgary was gone, but then on the 23rd day, all of Alberta was gone. That didn't take much longer. That was pretty fast. Okay, let's see. What about Canada? 24, 25. Let's see. Wait a minute. We're already at 33,554,432. That means it's only 26 days until all of Canada is gone. That's escalated very quickly. Huh. Okay. I'm just going to scroll down here because I'm running out of space. So, all right. Canada was 26 days. Now we're at 134 million. My goodness, North America is not going to last that long either, is it? 268 million. 29 days. 536 million. Okay, so on day 29, North America's gone. I would have thought it would have taken much longer. Okay, day 30, we're at 1 billion. Day 31, 2 billion. Day 32, 4 billion. Day 33, bye-bye world. Everyone in the world is now a zombie. Well, that escalated really quickly, right? Very quickly, that number, which started out at just 1, and it was doubling every single day, by the end of 33 days, if nothing was there to stop the zombies, then very quickly they overtake the whole population of the world, right? 33 days was all it took, okay? Now, this is a complete hypothetical scenario where I have just made it up for purposes of demonstrating exponents because it's fun. But there are some real-world applications here, and I've actually always talked about this, but I never thought we would see it. I always talked about a virus spreading. And let me just change some things here. Instead of being days, we'll look at weeks, because this is something I've seen in charts and I've seen in the news. Okay, so we've got number of weeks and number of, we'll say, COVID cases. Okay, so what I saw in the news was on the charts I kept seeing it would say doubling every week. So if the number of COVID cases in the world was to double every week, we wouldn't even make it a full year before everyone in the world had COVID, right? 33 weeks. There's 52 weeks in a year. We wouldn't have even made it a full year if we didn't do something to stop the spread, right? If the number of cases was doubling every single week, even within Alberta, what was Alberta, we said? 23 days, or so 23 weeks, right? Not even half a year. So that was why they had to bring in all this social distancing, because as they were looking at the doubling of cases, it started out in early days. We had our first case, and it wasn't really a big deal. Then we got our second case after a week. Not really a big deal. After 2 weeks, sure, 4. That's not a big deal. But it sure escalated quickly, didn't it? Right? So this is exactly why they had all of the different precautions that they brought in, because left unchecked, if we didn't bring in social distancing, if we didn't do things like canceling school, making sure we're staying at home, washing hands, all those good things that we have been doing, man, that escalates really quickly and gets out of hand fast. Okay, so this is what we call exponential growth. And so we're going to be looking at exponents in this topic. And it's just a good visualization, starting off with the silly hypothetical zombie scenario, but then bringing it back to real life and something that's actually gone on. And so when you hear about things in the news, if you see it talking about doubling time, things like that, that's what they're referring to, right? And if we were doubling our cases every week, my goodness, sure wouldn't take long before everyone in the world would be sick. All right, so I want to end this on a positive note, okay? So I'm going to go back to my zombies, because it's much funnier when we think of it as zombies. Not number of zombies. Where we think of it as zombies instead of something that's, actually going on. Just to give you an idea, what if instead of eating just one person a day, the zombie needed to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Because it's important to have 3 square meals, okay? So let's just change that, okay? So still first day he escapes from the lab. Okay, or on day 0 he escapes from the lab, and we'll explain more. I'll explain more as we go through this topic about why I'm picking that. But let's say on the first day he has breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That means there's 3 new zombies plus him, so now there are 4 zombies. Okay, and then on the next day he has breakfast, lunch, and dinner plus him, so that's 4 new zombies, and then his breakfast from the day before has breakfast, lunch, and dinner plus his breakfast, so that's 4 new zombies. And then we have his lunch from the previous day, has breakfast, lunch, and dinner plus that lunch, so that's 4. And same with dinner. So now there are 16, right? So now we're multiplying by 4, okay? And as we multiply by 4, I'm going to have to change my, I'm just going to change my formula here so we can see it, okay? And I'm going to drag this down, and my goodness, here we go, day 19. It doesn't even show it to us. Okay, it doesn't like it because of the scientific, it brings in some scientific notation, but by day 19 the whole world population is gone. That went way quicker. Okay, let's see, what if the zombies were to eat like crazy? Let's say they are going, there's 10 new, every zombie gets 10 new ones every day. There you go, 11 days, and it's all gone. Okay, so what we're looking at here is exponential growth, and I'm going to be explaining more of this exponential growth to you as we go through this topic. Okay, so I just wanted to give you something to visualize how quickly numbers can get big very quickly, and that's kind of the whole topic. Exponents cause numbers to get big very fast. Okay, in the next video we'll start talking about exponents and powers.